Welcome. I am Felicitas Court, and if you are listening here, Habits and Inhabitants, you're searching for content that inspires you to grow. Please feel free to share your ideas and emotions, and we can go for a dialogue. This podcast is credible since the information displayed is a result of 7 decades of research in emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, represented in one of the 4 pillars of the more than 400 contemporary psychotherapies. And this pillar is named Behavioral and Cognitive Psychotherapies, being the other 3 pillars psychoanalysis, humanistic psychotherapies, and transpersonal psychotherapies. Today, I am going to address the distrust of persons who fear of being labeled weak or labeled crazy when they're unhappy, or when they say, it is what it is, hold on and deal with the situations as long as you can, like a man or like a woman. Everything you don't like goes straight under the rug. So not facing or sharing what you think and what you feel turns chronic stress into hopelessness. Like nothing I can do, it's less wanting, less liking, less effort, and less learning. Plus, of course, very low positive affect. This is called anhedonia. And because it has a name, you can start doing something about it, right? There are a lot of negative attitudes and discrimination against people living with negative emotions and negative thoughts. And this podcast is about stigma reduction. But now I will focus on more what to do versus how to do it. Let's start making it easier to face the psychological discomfort. Just face the psychological discomfort, which means that first, relax your breath. Breath, particularly when you exhale. So you take in the air, you take in air, you inspire, and then exhale gradually, and let it go more and more and more and more. Exhaling, inhale again, and exhale. And if you work with your breath, much of your stress will be reduced. And believe me, it's there for you to use and how to use it. You know, there's plenty of books about breath and plenty of conventions, and so taking good care of your breath is essential. I'll do it once more. Inhale, go. You inhale, you hold the air, count to 4, and start exhaling. Try to exhale until 8. The longer you exhale your breath, the better for you. Okay, so let's go now to the next step. Let's relax your body. When I mean relax your body, there was a long time ago, there was a neurophysiologist called Edmund Jacobson, and he had more than 100 exercises for you to use in your body. But then, considering when you do therapy and you know that 100 exercises is not doable in general, especially nowadays, so one of the major let's say key very important researcher in behavioral therapy, Dr. Joseph Wolpe, In his practice, with his patients, he decided to reduce the 100 exercises into 5 exercises. And those 5 exercises are related first with, of course, with your breathing, with the muscles of your face, then muscles of your shoulder, and then works with your thorax, and then your back, arching your back, and then you work with the feet, and of course hands. You have this in the world of relaxation. I have recorded that in YouTube, so you're welcome to check on YouTube in English, The World of Relaxation, also in Spanish, El Mundo de la Relajación. Therefore, you learn to be aware of your muscles and know what to do, how to release that tension. And these are exercises that take you at the most 10 minutes. So it's a question of you to include that as a hygiene of your everyday life, just like you do other things like brushing your teeth. This is a psychological hygiene of breathing and first, and then working with the different groups of muscles if you can detect which area is under stress. Then now we go to a next form of relaxing your mind. This is more difficult, much more difficult. When you work in these days of uncertainty, of a lot of stress, of you don't know how the world nowadays is really, you know better. To each, it's a particular condition to each person who's listening here, but basically, relaxing your mind means working with your thoughts, and this is not easy. There are many ways. We may address this in the future, but what is most important is to know that racing thoughts is a form of a lot of stress, and it affects even the sleep. So when you try to go to sleep and your thoughts are racing, you can you can come very close to insomnia or be part of insomnia. So relaxing your mind requires discipline, and what more discipline than having a healthy brain and a healthy ideation, how to work with your ideation. And this is part of the things I would like to address in the series of these podcasts. So the one more idea that I want to put forth is relax your world. And this is what I was saying before. Relax your world. How can you reduce the levels of information and make sure that the information that you are searching for it's not fake, and be sure also that you have a discipline to do it, to have information at certain moments in the day, especially not before going to sleep. That is a no-no. And when you get up, that's a no-no too, considering that the news mostly are not that stimulating. So unfortunately, we live, like they say, in a radio station in Canada. The nice music, classical music for an upside down world, which I agree totally. It's an upside down world, and you need to really be aware on how to not get so toxic with all the information that will get into your being, your world. So my last for now is do keep this going, not just today that I'm telling you, but make it part of your life. Make it really, you will see the difference when you start working on yourself, taking of your psychological self and physical self. They're completely they're related, interrelated. You cannot talk about psychological health and not physical health, and vice versa. So they're all related, and very much so, very close related. But we do go to the doctor. We do have, in general, try to have checkups and physical checkups and whatnot. But when it comes to psychological health, that's gonna be okay. No, that's not what we should do. That's why many people are suffering nowadays, and I'm not going to use any diagnosis whatsoever in this podcast right now. Maybe in the future, but right now, no. So keep it going, and until next time. And you know what? May the self-efficacy force be with you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.